Welcome, I'm Shay Wesley, founder of New America Healthcare Protocol. Today, I want to invite you on a transformative journey of healing, a journey where we explore the impact of trauma over time and the profound effects it can have on each decade of our lives. From childhood to adulthood, each phase of life carries its own unique challenges and experiences, often leaving behind imprints that shape who we become. Trauma doesn't just vanish, it stays with us, affecting our mindset, emotional well-being, and even our physical health. But the good news is, through the power of healing and self-awareness, we can release those imprints and step into our fullest potential, regardless of what we've endured. And in this meditation, we will gently explore each decade of your life, uncovering the layers of experiences and trauma that may have shaped your journey. As we do this, I will guide you into releasing those burdens, allowing you to heal each 10-year chapter. You'll learn to recognize the trauma, release the energy that no longer serves you, and create space for new, empowering beliefs and experiences to emerge. With compassion and understanding, I will walk beside you, helping you to reclaim your power and release the past so that you can embrace the future with clarity and peace. So if you're ready, let's begin this process of healing, one decade at a time, knowing that each step forward is a step towards freedom, peace, and empowerment. So take in a nice deep breath for me, and let's start this journey of healing together. Throughout our lives, we accumulate experiences, some positive, some negative, that shape who we are. Trauma, whether big or small, it leaves an imprint on our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. And the effects of trauma can linger, subtly influencing our thoughts, behaviors, and relationships throughout our lives. Often these effects are not confined to a single event, but rather span across the different stages of life, accumulating over time and manifesting in ways that we may not even recognize. And healing trauma is not a one-time event. It is a continuous journey that involves addressing and releasing wounds from each phase of our life. So in this session, we're going to explore how trauma can impact different stages of life in each 10-year span, and how to heal and release the emotional pain from each decade. By addressing the trauma in each of these phases, you can reclaim your personal power, heal your inner wounds, and move forward in your life with greater peace and emotional freedom than you've ever known. So here's where the therapy begins. We're going to start with healing trauma from childhood, ages 0 to 10. So I want you to think about the very first 10 years of your life and the events that occurred. The first 10 years of life lay the foundation for who we are as individuals. And during this formative period, we are most impressionable, and our experiences, whether positive or traumatic, shape our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. And early childhood trauma can result from various experiences, such as neglect, abuse, abandonment, or living in a stressful or unstable environment. So I want you to think back in your 10-year span and recall any traumas. Now I'm going to suggest some traumas that are common from ages 0 to 10. Some of the things that we have helped heal are physical, emotional, or sexual abuse, neglect or abandonment, loss of a parent or caregiver, someone who's witnessed domestic violence or other traumatic events, bullying and ridicule, and living in a chaotic or unsafe environment. So now I want to give you ways that you can heal from this childhood trauma. To heal from the trauma from this stage of life, we must first acknowledge the wounds that were formed. Often, childhood trauma manifests in adulthood as feelings of unworthiness, anxiety, trust issues, and difficulty forming healthy relationships. So we're going to talk about some steps to healing trauma from this period of our childhood. Number 1, we're going to take some time to revisit childhood memories. I'd like for you to take some time to reflect on your childhood and identify any traumatic experiences that may have impacted you. Journaling can be a very helpful tool for processing some of these emotions. And I want you to allow yourself to grieve the pain and validate the emotions that you've experienced. Number 2, we're going to work on healing that inner child. I want you to take some time to connect with your inner child, the part of you that still carries those early wounds. And through some visualization or maybe meditation, I want you to imagine comforting and protecting your younger self. I want you to offer them love and compassion and remind your inner child that they are safe now. Number 3, we're going to release any unmet needs. Childhood trauma often stems from unmet emotional needs, whether it was a lack of love, attention, or nurturing. It is essential to acknowledge those needs and give yourself the care and support you may have missed. So I want you to practice giving yourself compassion, and I want you to engage in self-care practices that nurture your emotional health. Number 4, it is important to seek professional support. Childhood trauma can be deeply ingrained, and it may be helpful to seek talk therapy or counseling. A therapist can guide you through healing techniques such as inner child work, trauma therapy, and other approaches that help release the emotional pain from childhood. So now we're moving on to healing trauma from adolescence, about the age of 11 to 20. The teenage years are a time of growth, self-discovery, and significant emotional development. And this period is often marked by a heightened desire for independence, social pressure, and the formation of their identity. But adolescence can also be a time of heightened vulnerability to trauma, as teens are navigating emotional, physical, and social challenges that may result in significant wounds. So I want you to think back to this period of time in your life, and I'm going to suggest some common traumas that we heal in office. The first being peer pressure and bullying, body image issues or self-esteem struggles, family conflict or divorce, sexual harassment or assault, experiencing or witnessing violence, struggles with identity or self-acceptance. So now you can understand why it's so important to heal this season of life. To heal trauma from adolescence, it's important to honor the emotional turbulence of these years, while also recognizing how these experiences may have shaped your adult life. And common emotional scars from this period can include insecurity, self-doubt, and struggles with self-acceptance. So now I want to talk about 4 ways that we can turn our self-evolution compass in the direction of healing. Number 1, I want you to reclaim your identity. Adolescence is a time when we begin to form our identity. And if trauma disrupted this process, it's important to reconnect with your true self. So I want you to spend time reflecting on your values, passions, and what makes you unique. I want you to embrace the person you've become and let go of any limiting beliefs that were formed during those years so that you can form new ones. Number 2, we're going to address any social and relational wounds. Many adolescents experience trauma related to peer relationships, which can include bullying, social rejection, or even toxic friendships. We heal by setting boundaries with unhealthy people and engaging in supportive relationships, thereby building your self-esteem through affirmations and self-love. The third way that we can move in the direction of healing is forgiveness. If your adolescence was marked by family conflict, betrayal, or other emotional wounds, I want you to consider practicing forgiveness, not for the other person, but for your own healing. I'm going to ask you to let go of the resentment that holds you back, and I'm going to ask that you allow yourself to move forward with peace. And the fourth way that we can move in the direction of healing is creative expression. Adolescence is often a time of emotional intensity. Engaging in creative activities like art, music, or writing can help release pent-up emotions and foster healing. These outlets allow you to express and process the complex feelings of this stage in a very healthy way. Now we're moving on to healing trauma from early adulthood. This is about the age of 21 to 30. And in the early adulthood phase, we begin to navigate the challenges of independence, relationships, and career. And this decade often brings about significant transitions, including leaving home, entering the workforce, and forming long-term relationships. It's a time of forging our path, but it can also be a time of immense pressure and expectations. Trauma during this period can shape how we approach work, relationships, and our overall sense of self-worth. So I want to share some of the most common traumas from ages 21 to 30 that we work with. First is relationship struggles or breakups. Next is career disappointments or financial challenges, anxiety or depression related to life transitions, loss of a loved one, and unresolved childhood trauma carrying over into adulthood. So to heal the trauma from early adulthood, it's essential to embrace the changes that this period brings and to let go of perfectionism or unrealistic expectations. So let's talk about a few ways that we can do that. One, we can embrace self-discovery. Early adulthood is a time of self-exploration, and if you've experienced trauma during this period, it's important to reconnect with your desires and dreams. What do you want for your future? Reflect on your values and use this understanding to guide your decisions moving forward. The next step to healing in this season of life is having emotional resilience. Early adulthood can be stressful, especially as we face pressures to succeed, build relationships, and become financially independent. So we build emotional resilience by practicing mindfulness, stress management, and self-compassion. So today I want you to trust that you are capable of navigating these challenges and that healing is possible. Because next, I'm going to ask you to release the fear of failure. Many early adults experience fear around making mistakes or not meeting societal expectations. So today I want you to let go of that pressure to be perfect and embrace the process of growth and learning. For your value is not determined solely by your accomplishments. Next, we heal with supportive relationships. So from today forward, I want you to begin to surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. If past relationships have been toxic or harmful, I want you to create space for healthy, empowering connections that nourish your growth and healing. So next, we're going to move on to healing trauma from midlife. This is around the age of 31 to 40. Now, by the time we reach midlife, we often find ourselves reflecting on the choices we've made, our career direction, and even our relationships. And this period is often marked by a search for meaning and fulfillment, and can be a time of great self-discovery, or, if unresolved trauma is present, a time of emotional crisis or even self-doubt. So let's talk about some common traumas that we see in our office from ages 31 to 40. We often see unmet life goals or dreams, midlife crisis or identity confusion, divorce or significant relationship changes, parenting challenges, health issues, or mortality awareness. So how do we heal from midlife trauma? Well, to heal the trauma from midlife, it's important to embrace personal growth and to redefine your sense of purpose. So let's talk about a few steps we can take to head in that direction. First is self-reflection. I want you to take time to reflect on your journey, acknowledging both your successes and regrets. I want you to understand that your life's path has brought you to this point for a reason. And now is the time you choose how you want to move forward. Next, I want you to reclaim your passion. Midlife is a time to rediscover your passions and purpose. I want you to engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, ones that focus on growth, not perfection, and embrace new experiences with an open heart. And that leads us to forgiving yourself and others. Today, I want you to let go of past mistakes and regrets. Self-forgiveness is essential for healing, as it allows you to release the burden of guilt and shame. Forgiveness of others is equally important for freeing yourself from the chains of resentment. So now we know a little bit more about healing the traumas from every decade of our life. Now we know that healing the trauma from each decade of your life is a continuous, ongoing process. But by addressing the wounds from your childhood, adolescence, early childhood, and midlife, you can break free from old patterns and then embrace a life of greater emotional freedom and self-empowerment. Each season of your life offers an opportunity to heal and grow, so long as you are willing to face the past with compassion and a desire for change. And we know that healing is not linear, and it requires patience, dedication, and support. But with each step you take, you reclaim more of your personal power, creating a future that is free from the shackles of past trauma. You are worthy of love, healing, and a life filled with peace and fulfillment. Now I want to thank you for taking the time to listen and honor your journey today. You've taken a powerful step toward healing, and each moment of awareness brings you closer to a life of balance, peace, and freedom from the past. And I want you to remember that healing is an ongoing process, and you now have the tools to continue releasing trauma no matter where you are on your path. The New America Healthcare Protocol is here to support you in this transformative journey, providing you with the guidance and strength needed to thrive. So as you move forward, I want you to carry this sense of peace with you, knowing that you have the power to heal each decade of your life, one step at a time. And you are worthy of this healing, and the future holds endless possibilities for you. Thank you again for listening. Until next time, take care, stay empowered, and trust in your ability to create a healthy, harmonious life.